Hi guys, welcome to our study session one. Uh, so I will be here with my subject that was history. So start reading. So please read with me. Whoever coming online aspirants, thank you. According to Greek historian Dhanananda, the emperor of Magadha was the most powerful and had two legs. Hi guys, I'm going to read emergence of new religions like Buddhism and Jainism. and other religions like Nayati, Charvaka, whatever. Um, so, why these uh, new religions are emerged? 6th century BC witnessed the rise of numerous religions across the world. They include Zoroastrianism in Iran, Confucianism in in Confucianism and Taoism in China, Shintoism in Japan, Buddhism and Jainism in India. In India, this period is considered to be an age of religious and philosophical fermentation. 62 heterodox movements were born against them existing social discrimination based on caste and ritualistic religion of the Aryans that was dominated by the priestly class. Among these movements, Buddhism and Jainism emerged a full-fledged religion that persistent in today. So, ఏంటి causes ఏంటి? What are the causes for the rise, growth of Buddhism and Jainism? Social factors. We divide them in social and economic and political factors. So the social factors include inequalities based on Varna system became the prime reason for the birth of new religions. Brahmanas were projected as gods dwelling on earth, and other Varnas were subordinated to them. All kinds of limitation were imposed on Shudras along with women. They were denied the Upanayana ceremony and were branded Ekajas. So women treated as Ekajas, women and Shudras were treated as Ekajas, whereas um, men treated as Dvijas, who are not gross social inequalities and gender injustice marked society. Women were subordinated to men and were denied equality and rights. On the other hand, Buddhism and Jainism condemned the existing social system and advocated social and gender equality. Economic factors. The beginning of a new agrarian economy in the Indo Gangetic basin became an important cause for the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. Fertile lands, new techniques of cultivation, and increase the use of iron technology facilitate extensive cultivation. However, Vedic practice of killing cattle indiscriminately in rituals created obstacles to the progress of agriculture. Public and Hi guys. Hey, here one important. I was reading Buddhism. Actually, there are five major events in life of Buddha. First, birth. Buddha was born in Lumbini, Nepal, and lotus symbolizes it. Like second, Mahabinishkramna means Buddha leaving his house. Um, um First sermon of Buddha. First sermon of Buddha. Do you know where Buddha got first sermon? He Buddha first religious sermon delivered at Deer Park at Sarnath. Dharma Chakra wheel symbolizes it. So these first sermon attended by five disciples. Their names was Kondanna, Bhadia, Vappa, Mahanama, and Asagi. Mahaparinirvana. Buddha spent his last rainy season at Vaishali and passed away at the age of 80 at Kusinara, known as Mahaparinirvana. It is represented by stupa, which is a sacred structure built upon the relics of Buddha. There are three types of stupa. Dhatugarbha stupas, built upon the relics of Buddha or Buddhist mark. Paribhojaka stupas, built upon Buddhist texts or holy articles. Uddesika stupas, they were built without any material. Sorry. So the Buddha monasteries, residence of Buddhist monks are called viharas. What called viharas means the Buddhist monks who reside, their name is viharas. And prayer halls ni chaityas, prayer halls ni what we call chaityas. So there are four doctrines of Buddhism. He said that the world is full of sorrow. So he propounded that in the world there is always sorrow. What causes sorrow? He said that desires causes sorrow, and he also said that sorrow can be eliminated. There is a way to remove sorrow. So he propounded the Ashtanga Marga, that is known as eightfold path. So if you suffer with your problems, there is a way to solve those problems as Buddha propounded. That was Ashtanga Marga. So Ashtanga Marga first means right action, second right vision, third right speech, fourth right aim, fifth right effort, sixth right livelihood, seventh right awareness, eighth right meditation. So he said that right action. If you eliminate sorrow in your life, you will do right action. Second, right vision. You will definitely know what was your vision. Right speech. Your speech should be in a way that proper. Right aim, right efforts. Your effort should be gentle. Right livelihood, right awareness, right meditation. So he also said that Pratitya Samuppada. It is another doctrine of Buddhism which describes the relationship between cause and effect. కాజ్ ఉంటుంది, ఎఫెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఏదైనా రీజన్ ఉంటేనే దానికి ఎఫెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది తప్పించి ఉట్టినైతే ఉండదు. అకార్డింగ్ టు ఇట్, నో హ్యూమన్ యాక్షన్ టేక్స్ ప్లేస్ వితౌట్ కాజ్ అండ్ ఎఫెక్ట్. మిడిల్ పాత్. Buddha preached the middle path according to which extremes of everything should be avoided. సో ఎక్కువ హ్యాపీనెస్, ఎక్కువ సాడ్నెస్ ఇవన్నీ కాకుండా మిడిల్ పాత్ అనేది సజెస్ట్ చేసిండు ఎవరు? బుద్ధ. The four Buddhist councils known as Sanghas held in ancient period are discussed in the following. సో ఫస్ట్ బుద్ధిస్ట్ కౌన్సిల్ ఎక్కడ జరిగిందంటే రాజగృహ, ప్రిసైడెడ్ బై మహాకశ్యప. అప్పుడు కంటెంపరీ కింగ్ అజాతశత్రు. In this Buddhist council, documentation of Buddha's teaching were laid. Ananda, the disciple of Buddha, compiled Sutta Pitaka, consisting of the preaching of Buddha. Sutta Pitaka, Ananda, disciple of. Another disciple of Buddha, Upali, compiled Vinaya Pitaka, which contains code of conduct. Upali uh, Vinaya Pitakam. Second, Vaishali Sabakam, President Sabakami, contemporary king Kalashok. To bridge the gulf between two groups of Buddhism. So Buddhism suffered a schism and two rival sects were born. Avanti monks under the leadership of Mahakatyayana emerged as Theravada or Stavirvada sect, and Vajji monks under the leadership of Mahakashyapa emerged as the Mahasangika sect. 250 BCEలో Pataliputra. Mogaliputta Tissa president, Ashoka was the contemporary king to discuss various issues. Abhidhamma Pitika was compiled. Buddhist missionaries were formed to spread Buddhism. First century aid, Kundal 1 in Kashmir. Kanishka to unite the 18 sects in Buddhism. The 18 sects united to form two major sects. They were Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana and Mahayana sect. In fourth Hinayana Kanishka, Vasumitra last fourth Buddhist council, Vasumitra is the president and Ashwagosha is vice president. In the fourth Buddhist council, the 18 sects of Buddhism were united to form two major sects, namely Hinayana and Mahayana. Stavirvada, Theravada, Sautantrika, Samitya, Mahishasaka, Mula Stavirvada, uh, Mula Stavirvada, Teva, Sautantrika, Samitya, Mahishasaka. So these are the sects of the Hinayana and Mahayana. Difference between Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana Buddhist opposite to the changes in the religion, they were anti-changer. Mahayana Buddhist accept the necessary changes. Mahayana Buddhist accepts the necessary changes according to hence they were pro-change. They continued Pali as their language. They gave up Pali and adopted that. They believe individual salvation. They believe in salvation to all. Hinayanas did not personify Buddha. They worshipped the symbols related to Buddha and opposed idol worship. They worshipped Buddha in human form and introduced idol worship in India. It spreads to Burma, Sri Lanka, Southeast Asian countries, and it spreads to China, Japan, Korea, Nepal, and other countries. Vajrayanism. Vajrayanism, another Buddhist sect, was born in Amaravati, Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh. In 5th century AD, Vajrayana Buddhists worshipped Taras and wives of Buddhists too. Kala Chakrayana. Kala Chakrayana. They believe that salvation can be attained by securing magical powers through tantric cults. Sahajayana. They believe that salvation is possible through sexual intercourse. Siddha Nagarjuna of Nagarjuna Kunda in Andhra Pradesh propagated Vajrayana. At present, Tibet is the only country to follow Vajrayanism. The Tripitakas, Ananda, the favorite disciple of Buddha, compiled the Pitaka. The teachings of Buddha are explained in this sacred. It consists of five collections known as Nikas. They are Dignikya. Digani, it includes four noble truths, Astanga Marga and Paha Parinirvana Sutta. Majjhima Nikaya, it discusses the Buddha's relations with Jains, Ajivikas, and others. Anguttara Nikaya, it mentions 16 Mahajanas. Samutta Nikaya, Kuda Nikaya. So it is the most extensive Nikaya. Jatakas are the vital part of Kuda Nikaya, which deals with five stories related to Buddha. And Bodhisattva Mandata Jataka, Bhimasena Jataka, Chilla Kalinga Jataka, Srita Gaja Sataka are important among them. Besides Buddha Vamsha, Suttani Pata, Dhammaveda, Gata and Gata are part of this Nikaya. The Bodhisattvas are the previous births of Buddhas. Buddhists believe that Buddha was born again and again to serve humankind. Vajrapani with thunderbolt, Padmapani, Aravalokiteshvara with lotus, Manjusri with a book and sword, Padmasambhava, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha, Chakrapani, and Viroshan are some important bodhisattvas. Buddhists also believe that Buddha will be born in the future to save mankind. Maitreya is worshipped as the future Buddha. It is believed that Vajrapani punishes the sinners with these thunderbolts. Buddhists worship Manjushri for understanding knowledge. Buddha Gosha. Visuddhi Magga. Buddha Gosha, who wrote books, Buddha Gosha books, Visuddhi Magga, Datukata Prakirana, Katavatu Prakirana, Samanta Pasadika. Visuddhi Buddha Gosha books, Visuddhi Magga, Datukata Prakirana, Katavatu Prakirna, Samanta Prasadika. Acharya Nagarjuna books. Acharya was second Gata. Acharya Nagarjuna was known as Indian Einstein. Acharya Nagarjuna is also known as Indian Einstein, and he belonged to Mahayana sect. He developed two philosophies. Mahayanism are known as Madhyamika Vada and Shunya Vada. He authored 24 books in Sanskrit, which Madhyamika Karika, Shunyastapati, Prajna Paramita, Surulleka, Rasaratnakara, Ayurveda Manjari are important. Okay, revision with me. Madhyamika Karika, Shunyastapati, Prajna Paramita, Surulleka, Rasaratnakara, Ayurveda Manjari. माध्यमिक कारिका शून्यस्तपति प्रज्ञा पारमिता सुहृल्लेख रसरत्नाकर आयुर्वेद मंजरी Baba Viveka. He was also Mahayana scholar and the follower of Madhyamika Veda philosophy of Acharya Nagarjuna. He founded a new school of philosophy, Swatantra Madhyamika Vada. Swatantra Madhyamika Vada, and wrote many Sanskrit books, namely Tarkajwala, Prajna Pradeepa, and Kartala Ratna. Buddha Palita. He was also a Mahayana scholar and followed the Madhyamika Vada philosophy of Acharya Nagarjuna. He developed a new philosophy named Prasangika Madhyamika Vada and authored a book titled Madhyamika Vritti in Sanskrit. Maitreyanada. He preached Yogacara, Vijnanavada, Buddha Palita, Prasangika Madhyamika Vada. Book Madhyamika Vritti in Sanskrit. Maitreyanada Yogacara School. His book was Lankavatara Sutra. Dignaga. Dignaga was born in Kanchi in Tamil Nadu, lived in Vingi Vihara for AP. He followed Yogacara philosophy of Maha. He is known as father of Indian logic and wrote many books in Sanskrit such as Pramana Samuchaya, Nyaya Pravesha, Alambana Pariksha, Hetu Chakra Damaru. Dharmakirti. He was a great scholar and from South India worked as the rector of Nalanda University. The scholars compare him to Immanuel Kant and a famous German philosopher call him Kant of India. Buddhist Sanghas. The monastic order of Buddhists is known as Sanghas, which was founded by Gautama Buddha himself. It consists of bhikshus, monks, and bhikshunis, nuns. The lay worshippers in Buddhism are known as Upasaka, male, Upasika, female. The progressive ideas of Buddhism were well reflected in Sangha. The people of all castes, including the untouchables and women, were admitted into it. However, the runaway soldiers, debtors, minors, slaves, and people with contagious diseases were not admitted to Sangha due to various valid reasons. The head of Sangha, who is generally known as senior bhikshu, known as Sangatera. Head of Sangha, what called Sangatera. Influence of Upanishad on Buddhism. Influence of Upanishad on Buddhism. So Upanishads are considered to be the most knowledgeable, rational, and realistic among the Vedic texts. They are 108 in number and promote heterodox ideas. They condemn rituals and animal sacrifice, which are predominant in the Vedic religion. The predominant influence of the Upanishad is visible in Buddhism. When Gautama Buddha was wandering ascetic, he learned the techniques of meditation and the teaching of Upanishad from a sage named Alar Kalam. He was greatly inspired by the Shramana ideology incorporated in the Upanishad. What is Shramana? People who oppose rituals, priestly class domination, and Brahmanical supremacy are called Shramanas. Upanishads preach pragmatic and rational philosophy. They show an alternative path for salvation and the karma marga, which believes in salvation through rituals, uh, was rejected and Bhakti Marga was popularized. According to Bhakti Marga, those who establish a direct loving relationship with God and surrender to Him would attain salvation. Further, Upanishads preach non-violence, ethics, and speculative doctrines such as transmigration of soul, birth, rebirth, karma, moksha, which were approved and incorporated into Buddhism. Social philosophy of Buddhism. The origin of Buddhism can be traced back to the 6th century BC, for which the preachings of Gautama Buddha became the basis. Gautama Buddha was a heterodox teacher who opposed orthodox and conservative elements found in Vedic society and religion. He outrightly rejected the social inequalities based on caste system and the social, economic, religion, and educational disabilities imposed upon the common man. In Vedic society, the males of the first three varnas were highly respected as Dvijas, whereas Shudras and Antyajas were insulted as Ekajas. Buddhism revolted against such discrimination. Okay, you got it? Buddha gave the people to call a call to unite in his Dhamma and lose the caste identity as the rivers in mingle in the ocean. Buddhism also condemned gender-based inequalities, social subordination of women, their seclusion and inferior treatment were outrightly rejected. It advocated considerable liberty and equal rights to women. Even women were admitted into Buddhist Sangha and universities. It can be said that Buddhism began a revolutionary epoch in the social history of India. Buddhism was committed to the morals and ethics borrowed from Upanishads. It always preaches social harmony among different groups. It advocated harmonious relations between masters, slaves, money lenders, debtors, kings, pupils, and various other sections of the society. Buddhism had a vision of creating an alternative society where there would be no inequalities and discrimination based on caste and gender. The rationality, pragmatism and progressive social ideas of Buddhism should be acknowledged appropriately. The spread of Buddhism outside India, Buddhism, which was born in India in 6th century BC, slowly spread across India and finally crossed the borders to reach all neighboring countries. The Third Buddhist Council, held in 3rd century BC, constituted missionaries to propagate Buddhism in India and abroad. As a result, Buddhism spread like wildfire across Asian continent. The spread of Buddhism in different countries is given below. China, Kashyapa Matanga, Kumarajiva, Acharya Nagarjuna, and other propagated Mahayana Buddhism in China. Nepal, Vasubandhu spread Mahayanism. Sri Lanka, Mahendra, the son of Ashoka, and Sangamitra, the daughter of Ashoka, propagated Sthavirvada Buddhism. Southeast Asia, Sri Gnana spread Hinayana Buddhism. Tibet, Atisha Deepankara, Padmasambhava, and Santa Rakshita disseminated Vajrayanism. Causes for decline of Buddhism. Buddhism was born around the 6th century BC and spread across the country under the patronage of different rulers. By the 5th century AD, it reached almost the entire country and after that it gradually declined. Buddhist missionaries spread the regions to all the neighboring countries but could not prevent its demise in the land of its birth. It disappeared by the 8th century AD from most parts of India but survived in Bengal and Bihar till the last decades of the 12th century. The Turkish conquest of Bihar and Bengal gave the last nail to the Buddhist coffin. The scholars identified various internal and external factors that led to the end of Buddhism in India. The internal conflicts and faction within Buddhism gave the death blow to it in India. As P.N. Sang reported, there were 18 different sects in Buddhism in the first century AD. The birthplace of Vajrayan sect in 5th century AD perverted Buddhism. Buddhism ni pervert the Buddhism was perverted through Vajrayana Buddhism. It preached that the salvation is possible through sexual intercourse and tantric cults, which led to unethical practices. The growing immorality in Buddhism created hatred among the masses towards it. Gradually, Buddhism lost the royal patronage, particularly during Gupta and later periods. The rurals patronized the Hindu religion, which led to the decline of Buddhism. When Buddha was shown as one of the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, Buddhism slowly drifted towards Hinduism to become a part of it. The violent attacks of native and foreign invaders became an important factor for the demise of Buddhism. The rise of Shaivism and their intolerance towards other religions became a curse. Shaivites organized physical attacks on Buddhists and their religious structures were converted into Shaiva temples. A king of Bengal, a king of Bengal, Gauda Shashanka, persecuted the Buddhists and destroyed the sacred people tree in Gaya, under which Buddha was enlightened. The Hun invaders of the 6th century and Turkish invaders of the late 12th century also contributed to its demise. Bakhtiyar Khilji, a Turkish invader, conquered Bengal, Bihar, and destroyed all Buddhist universities in Bihar. The last surviving Buddhists staying in the universities were massacred, bringing a complete end to the Buddhism in India. Contribution of Buddhism to Indian culture, impact of Buddhism. Latron, all other. First Tirthankara. First Tirthankara Rishabhnatha Adinatha. His symbol is bull. Traditionally, is considered the founder of Jainism. Who is the founder of Jainism? Rishabhanatha. 22nd Tirthankara Arishtanemi. His name is Harishtanemi or Neminada. His symbol was conch shell. 23rd Tirthankara Parsvanatha. Parsvanatha, his symbol was snake. Snake. He lived 8th century BC in Kashi. His father Asvasena, king of Asatya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, and Asteya. Asatya అంటే నాన్ లయింగ్, అహింస అంటే నాన్ వైలెన్స్, అపరిగ్రహ నాన్ పొజిషన్ ఆఫ్ అస్థేయ. Parsvanatha Puru Shadaniya, beloved of minister, is the founder of Jainism. అబద్ధం చెప్పకూడదు, అసత్య నాన్ లయింగ్, అహింస నాన్ వైలెన్స్, వైలెన్స్ చేయొద్దు, అపరిగ్రహ పొజిషన్స్ ఆఫ్ వెల్త్, నాన్ స్టీలింగ్. 24th తీర్థాంకర. Lion is his symbol. He was born in Kundagrama in Bihar. He belonged to a Kshatriya. right action, right knowledge, right faith. Guys, we are close to 1 hour. We completed the reading session of 1 hour. We are successful in completing 1 hour session. So the chapter was also coming to end. Uh, such as Charvaka or Lokayata. moment that emerged in 6th century BC. The Ajit Kesakambali foundation. God, birth, rebirth, salvation, and heaven, hell. Six new philosophical systems known as Shaddarshanas were born in India as a result of the constant philosophical interaction between Orthodox Vedic religion and unorthodox Buddhism and Jainism. The information about Shaddarshanas is given below. Sankhya Kapila preaches atheism. Sankhya ఏం చేస్తుంది? సాంఖ్య ఫిలాసఫీ కపిల ముని ఫౌండ్ చేసిండు. It preaches atheism. Next, yoga, Patanjali Foundation. It says that salvation could be attained by practice of Ashtanga Marga in yoga. Ashtanga Marga in yoga ఏముంది? యమ, నియమ, ఆసన, ప్రాణాయామ, ప్రత్యాహార, ధారణ, ధ్యాన, సమాధి. వైశేషిక కన్నడ promulgates Indian autumn theory. న్యాయ గౌతమ. మీమాంస జామిని. మీమాంస ఎవరు? జామిని. మీమాంస జామిని accepts supremacy of Vedas. Uttara Mimamsa Badrayana. Badrayana wrote Purva Mimamsa Jamini, Uttara Mimamsa Badrayana. Brahma Sutra and Vedanta Sutra. So we are at the end of the chapter. Thank you for guys. So some of the questions are here. If you know the answer, please comment down. Shantagara. Shantagara means, I'll see the answer. Shantagara means a parliament in republican states. Republican states lo parliament ఏమంటారు? శాంతాగార అంటారు. రిపబ్లికన్ స్టేట్స్ ఏంటి? లిచ్చవీస్, మల్ల అండ్ అవంతి. లిచ్చవీస్, వైదేహ అండ్ మల్ల. పూర్వ మీమాంస, ఉత్తర మీమాంస బాద్రాయన, పూర్వ మీమాంస జామ్ని, సాంఖ్య కఫలమే, వైశేషిక కన్నడ. Udraka and Alaram Kalam. Udraka and Alara Kalam are the Vedic teachers of the Hi guys, no one is there. I think no one is there. What is time now? 50. Hello guys, thank you for being part of our first session of study session of discipline series. So we will continue. And the time is over. Please subscribe to our channel when you are coming live. This is my small request. Thank you.